beautiful people, welcome to my Wild Hearthstone channel. When I tell people that I play Wild, usually they ask me, why do I play Wild? Isn't that the place of Dr. Seven and all the degenerate things? Well, I will try to approach the negativity towards Wild in a later video. Today I want to tell you the good things about playing Wild. And there are really two points that I want to make about playing Wild. One of them is diversity. And uh, it's important to understand why Wild is more diverse. According to Vicious Syndicate, there are more viable classes in Wild. Even now, and I'm recording this during the Knights of the Frozen Throne meta, all classes in Wild have at least one archetype that has a positive win rate. And although the current meta in Standard is really good, only 7 classes currently have a deck that has got a positive win rate. And with more viable classes naturally come more viable archetypes. So there are overall in the ranked ladder at the moment in Wild, there are 12 archetypes with a positive win rate, where we only have 8 of those in Standard. And again, I will reinforce this, that Standard right now is actually quite alright compared, for instance, with Mean Streets of Gadgets. And so back then, I will assume I didn't play Wild then, things would be even more extreme in terms of Wild diversity when compared with Standard. We can also see a lot more experiments, people just trying wacky things. This is true for the most part below rank 10 and in casual. So when we go after rank 10, things get a little bit more serious and there is less diversity. I will warn you of that. But for the more casual play, just having fun with the game, for the most part, up to rank 10 and in casual, there is a lot more diversity. And with those experiments, we also have a lot more memes. That's it. People just play wacky stuff and will try to surprise you with things that are not even archetypes. They are just either themes, or they are trying to do something that is completely broken. Sometimes it works, other times it doesn't, but at least it's pretty fun. So as far as playing the game, and this is what most people actually care about in Hearthstone, as far as playing the game, I was saying diversity is bigger in Wild, and that's one of the really cool things about this mode. The second one is more related with deck building. In this case, it's about creativity. And the reason why it's possible to be a lot more creative in Wild is relatively simple. There are simply just more cards available. If we look at the time when the last expansion of each year was released, in 2015, we had 743 cards, both in Wild and Standard, because there wasn't no Wild at the time. Then by the end of 2016, when Mean Streets of Gadgets was released, we started to see that difference growing, or in this case appearing. So we had 1054 cards with a little bit short of 900 in Standard. By the end of this year, when the final expansion is released, which will be Kobolds and Catacombs, we will have almost 1,500 cards in Wild, and a little bit more than 1,000 in Standard. And by the end of next year, things will start to become really serious in terms of difference. And this is assuming there will be no more cards going into the Hall of Fame, which can happen. Now, with this difference of cards existing in the two, is explained by the expansions that are rotated out of Standard, and those have a lot of cards that basically add more synergies to the game. So if you want to build something that has a Death Rattle team into it, you have a lot more Death Rattles. You can use also older mechanics that are not available. For instance, Joust is not a great mechanic, but there are a couple of cards that use it well. And overall, having more cards, more synergies, and more mechanics basically gives you more options. That's bottom line what the case is, and that's why it is possible to be a lot more creative in Wild than in Standard. So I hope that this short introduction video for the channel answered the question of why I play Wild and why I would like to invite you to play Wild. And I hope to see you in the Wild Tables Leather or Casual sometime in the near future. Till then, bye bye.